Hi, this is Jorge Economics, and in this video we're going to look at 4 reasons why buying silver now is arguably the best trade of the century, or the millennia, same thing. So the first reason why silver is the best trade of the century is because there's a massive silver shortage, and the entire world is relatively unaware of this shortage. So the world believes there is this much silver, but in reality there's this much. So the first reason why silver is the best trade is because there's a massive shortage of silver. There's just not enough of it to go around. So the second reason that silver is the trade of the century is because there is a growing inelastic demand for silver. So what is inelastic demand? Inelastic demand is when I'm willing to buy a product regardless of the price. In other words, I really need it. I need the product no matter what it costs. So why is there inelastic demand for silver? Well, because a lot of these producers like Apple and Tesla, they need silver to produce their product. It's the only commodity, it's the only metal that can conduct electricity the way it does. That's also very malleable, so it can be moved, it doesn't tarnish. So all of these big producers, they need silver. And as the world is turning more renewable, we're going to be using more silver because silver is the king metal to be used in these renewable energy products. So the second reason that silver is the trade of the century is because there is a growing inelastic demand for silver. All of these big industrialists need silver. So the third reason that silver is the trade of the century is because a huge amount of wealth is about to flow into it, guaranteed. We're on the verge of a currency crisis. Inflation is about to sweep through the entire world. So what does that mean? It just means people's money is less powerful. They can't buy as much stuff. Yesterday it cost $10 to buy a Powerade, but today it's going to cost $30, for example. So as people's wealth begins to disappear in front of them, they have to make a choice of whether they let the rest of their wealth get eroded by this inflation, or whether they put the remaining wealth that they have into a safe haven, into something that can preserve purchasing power. And the only 2 assets that have proven themselves in every single inflationary crisis to preserve purchasing power is gold and silver. So the third reason silver is the trade of the century is because there's about to be mass amounts of capital and wealth flowing into the silver market. The fourth reason why silver is the trade of the century is because of the manipulation. Now, manipulation generally isn't a good thing, but for us that are aware of the manipulation, it's actually the best thing in the world. You see, the elite bankers have pushed the price of silver down and down and down. So silver should be somewhere up here, but it's down here. And they've done this for political reasons. I'll make another video on why. But nonetheless, the elite bankers suppress the price of silver. And for someone like myself, or hopefully you, that becomes aware of this, it just creates the most easiest buying opportunity ever. Because it should be here, but it's here. So you just buy it whilst it's here, and then once the manipulation ends, it just skyrockets to where it should be. It sounds really simple because it is really simple. Every manipulation in history has come to an end. So when this silver manipulation ends, you just get to ride this wonderful wave where the price comes back to where it should be. And as silver is the most undervalued asset of the century, in history, no asset has been pushed so far away from where it should be. It just means that if you buy it now, whilst it's so suppressed, you're going to make a lot of money because it's going to have to the price is going to come back to where it should be, inevitably. So just to recap this video, the 4 reasons why silver is the trade of the century. First, there's a massive supply shortage. That's sort of linked to reason number 4, the manipulation, but nonetheless, there's a massive supply shortage. There's not enough silver to go around. And that leads on to point number 2, which is that a lot of big industrial manufacturers, they need silver. They don't want it, they need it. They need silver. And as the world moves more into this renewable energy phase, these manufacturers are only going to need it more. So the second reason is that we have a growing amount of industrial manufacturers that absolutely need silver. The third reason why silver is the trade of the century is because we're on the verge of a massive currency crisis. We're on the verge, we are experiencing massive inflation. And as the world continues to wake up and realize the inflation that is eroding their wealth, in other words, as the world wakes up and realizes that they're losing a lot of their wealth holding onto currencies, they're going to put their wealth into something like gold and silver. So that's the third reason. Fourth reason is by far the best reason, biggest reason, and it's because the elite bankers have suppressed the price of silver. And for us, this has created an opportunity to buy a very undervalued asset. So it should be up here, but it's down here. If we buy now, we get to ride this wonderful wave up. Thank you for watching this short and simple video on why silver is going to be the best trade of the century. Hopefully you become aware of what's happening and you can take advantage of the inevitable explosion in the price of silver that's likely going to come in the next month to few months. Catch you soon.